Alright. Hello, everybody. We're back with some more Legacy Death and Taxes. I'm going to be beating this deck into the ground, especially this week, and then still up until Eternal Weekend rolls around the beginning of November. I've been liking this list a lot, actually. Like, obviously, there's these weird choices like Hallowed Spiritkeeper and Crusading Knight. I have not tested nearly enough to know whether or not they're good, but been performing pretty well. I forget how we did on Friday, but I won the 40 Duels Win-A-Buy tournament, like the precursor to the actual tournament where the winner gets a buy, which was great. And we 4-1 yesterday, and we only lost the one game because I made like the actual worst possible play of my possible lines. Just kind of had a brain fart, but so then I just kind of like this configuration for now. So we're gonna keep running it back until I decide that like playing main deck Hallowed Spirit Keeper is a dumb idea. Let's go. Oh wow, Lige is the trophy leader with Blue Black Omni. Nice. I wonder why that deck specifically works. Just because discard is so relevant right now? Wouldn't be surprised. Like, what does red bring to the table for the sneak or the Omni type decks? Besides just an extra set of sneak attacks in the form of, or extra set of like show and tells in the form of sneak attack. STRGRV, thanks for the host. I appreciate it. How was your stream? Welcome, everyone. This hand's a little awkward, but it's fine. Definitely keepable. The second Thalia could get a little bit annoying, but just Bomb to Thalia hands are just super powerful. What do we got? Blue Delta. Could be a lot of things still. Combo. Oh, nope, Miracle's cool. Well, Mom to Thalia, and then making them Terminus that, and then playing like another Mom and a Thalia is not bad. It'd be a lot better if I had an Aether Vial in play, but I'm gonna play the Caracas here in case, like, I don't know, my opponent somehow tries to take this Thalia off the table. It also could be relevant if they have a Terminus on this draw step. We just pick up the Thalia. Even if we have the second, it's just free. We're not just gonna devote more to the board. Although I probably should have checked if my opponent had shuffled on their Terminus, or their thing. Their Portent, which they did not. Now they don't know the top card, though. 2-mana Ponder, deal. So I guess they wanted the top card of their library, which is why they, like, just played the fetch and pass that turn. Wonder what they would have wanted here that they didn't. Like, I don't know. Tundra. Ooh, Wasteland me? Let's draw Wasteland. I'll also accept Rashadenport. Also accept something like Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, there we go. Something that lets me devote more to the board without getting like supremely punished if my opponent Terminuses me. Because this Stoneforge just replaces itself. The really good equipment. Probably definitely Fire and Ice here. We just have so much to reload with. Opponent could force this with their 1 mana open. I think that's what they're thinking about. Yep. Force pitching force, sure. Council's Judgment. I think I just let them kill the Thalia here. Or the Mom if they really want to. No use picking up the Thalia. If they vote Thalia, we have a second. If they vote Mom, we also have a second, but then they're probably trying to unlock their plows. Sure. I wonder if I'm supposed to play Wisp here. Second Force. Alright, well, guess I'm definitely playing Wisp now. Just to add something to the board. Force pitching Snapcaster. Sure. Alright, so now we're still pretty well set up, except for a Terminus off the top, because we still have this Mother of Runes to try to show up whatever my opponent's trying to do. That's kind of bad. They have the cantrip to go with it. Well, I guess now we're racing. Good news is that we can just devote a bunch to the board, because it forces my opponent to Terminus, and then gets rid of their mentor. We really want to draw like Sword of Fire and Ice or Jite here, to just take this mentor off the board. We'd also accept something with Plow. Or like Ballista. How do you know if walking... Wait, how... Are you asking if, how do you know if Walking Ballista is good in your given meta? Like, what decks it's good against? I just kind of like it as a catch-all. It's really good against a lot of the fair decks right now, which are just all over the place. Against Miracles, it's like surprise damage. Against Grixis, it can ping down Strixes. In the mirror, it's obviously insane. It shoots through, like, ensnaring bridges against Red Prison and stuff. I just really like it. I think there should be one in a lot of Death and Taxes lists, at least in the 75, if not the 60. I think we're just going to flicker my Flicker Wisp and then flicker their Mentor, so they can't chain sorceries like Ponder to get monks. Main decking is just kind of a preference thing. It's not a huge deal if you don't want to main deck it, but I just like the extra versatility. Is the other Mom worth it here? Probably not. Especially if we're flickering their Mentor. Oh, wait, they portented. Flickering their Mentor is actually really dangerous. Because if they Terminus me, then we just get, like, savagely blown out. Might actually just flicker a Monk. Yeah. Although I don't know if they would have, like, tried to set up Terminus. Maybe I'm just playing around nothing. It's obvious. Walking Ballista is obviously like at its worst against combo decks. So if you're playing against a lot of combo decks, don't main deck it. But the meta is super fair right now in general, which is why. White Ballista's great. And Phil's bad mouthing and then got blown out in the mirror. It's insane in the mirror. What is this, Jace? Alright, well we can clear a Jace. They're just brainstorming too. Alright, we declare Jace and hit them still. again, even if they're setting up Terminus, we're fine getting Terminus here. I wonder if I'm supposed to, like, double block. They have, like, Plow. Block with Mother of Runes and tap it. They Plow the Mom, get another Monk. No, we just take 3. We're at 20. I guess I could have just blocked with a Flicker Wisp and then forced them to cast a spell right there. Hit Jason, him, leave him with a Planeswalker. Yeah, that's the plan. Not a great draw. We should attack Jace. Attack your face. Opponent might just, like, Plow to force a Mom tap. Again, I really don't like devoting the Mother of Runes here, because I feel like my opponent might be planning on Terminusing me. Like, notably, this Mentor is not going to get there. Yep, Terminus. Alright, as long as they don't have, like, a follow-up Jace. Yeah, whatever. Alright, right on time, Source of Plowshares. I assume they have a Plow in their hand or something. Otherwise, I guess that makes more sense on the Mentor attack there, that past turn, because they were just 100% planning on Terminusing me. So they're like, hey, if they block, then I gain 3 life, essentially, because they have to attack down this Jace. So maybe it was good not to block. It wasn't necessarily representing Source to Plowshares, it was just, oh, I'm going to Terminus this board away because I'm going to die. Yeah. Annoying. I'm just gonna, like, Jace draw into Source of Plowshares here. Yep. Let's draw Ballista. Perfect. Perfect card for this matchup. It's about as good as a Mirror Crusader. I mean, it's 1 damage worse than a Mirror Crusader right here, that's for sure. We'll see if it matters, because them being able to untap with a Jace is very bad with me just having any singular threat. Nobody's card is, like, never dying. They have Plows and Terminuses and Jace bounces. Like, worst case, if I played a Mirror Crusader here, my opponent can just down-tick Jace and continue on with life, so... Yeah, if they're brainstorming, they're gonna be able to beat the fucking idiot 3-2. Oh, I shouldn't have 6. I should not have 6. I almost, like, want them to block this Howl Spirit Keeper more than I want to plow this Mentor. Like if they block it, we just, like, we get 2 1/1s. But I should probably just, like, plow and attempt to kill this Jace. It's just, like, actual factual counterspell. Oh no. Snap. Plow my guy in response. Make a Monk. It's a pretty good other card to have. Alright. Now they have a Snap, a Monk, and a Jace versus my nothing. You need to draw, like, a Recruiter here to have, like, any shot. Or, like, another land. That'd be awesome. Aether Vial. Perfect. Even, like, Phyrexian Invoker there wouldn't have been horrible. My opponent is, I guess, not very short on answers. They've only cast one Plow. Counterbalance, alright, well, at least we have this Vial. Notably, they do know the top card of their deck. So if I actually draw something to play, but I don't, I just drew its mom, so it doesn't really matter. Fate Sealing me, alright, yep. Yeah, kill this one. Alright, well, at least they have to, like, brainstorm to find something to kill this. So we could draw another Thalia would be good, because we have Karakas to protect it. Ooh, now we can draw, like, a lot of 2-drops. Phyrexian Invoker would be amazing. Wasteland's not great, but we'll waste them off of this red. I don't know if they have main deck something or other, but we're not doing anything with this land. I'm tempted to attack this Jace with this Smother of Roots, just to get it 1 loyalty lower. It's probably not correct, though. We need this in play to protect other creatures. I think I leave this Vial on 2 with a counterbalance in play, because my opponent's like pretty hard pressed to counter 3s in this matchup, but they have a lot. They have a lot easier time hitting 2s. Well, I guess I attacked the Jason away and forced them to use the activation. Maybe I should just like let it get bounced. I'll try to play around like Vendilion Click. Like I said, we're going to leave this on 2 and immediately draw a 3-drop. Because that's how Vial works. Ooh, even better. They really just down-take their Jace to deal me 3? It seems very odd. I guess I should have played this Plains. Yeah, I don't think it matters. Because, like, drawing Stone Fortress, just Vial it in, and then we can still, like, Sword plus Equip. Does this mean they drew a removal spell? They're not going to do the down-tick play again? I feel like I might take the bait. I'm at 11. I might just need to like block this Snapcaster Mage. I think we can afford to take like 1 more hit. Opponent is being like super erratic on their use of their chase. Plus, followed by minus, followed by brainstorm. When like nothing has changed on my side of the battlefield. This seems like not a very well managed chase. The perfect draw. Alright, now I think I'm going to block the Snapcaster Mage. So that was definitely a miracle that they just had there. guess they just like put a terminus. So they're juggling a terminus. So I think we're just totally dead. Found like prelate on 6 plus stone or plus mom. They have like 6 cards in hand. Yeah, we're gonna fucking block. Yeah, sure. I have 6th. There's a chance I should have just like let us go to damage and just killed the Snapcaster. Perfect. What you got over there, bud? I also just hardcast Force. Well, at this point, they have 5 cards in hand. They have used 3 forces, though. But there are not a lot of 3s in Miracles. Besides, like, there's a Mentor, sometimes, like, 1 Council's Judgment. This one's just clearing the top of their library. Yeah, Brainstorm. It's a blind flip here. Reveals counterbalance with counterbalance, sure. Alright, we're still dead, but maybe the 7 cards in their hand and the top 3 cards of the library have no ways to deal with. Yeah. They're just gonna like cast 5 cards here and kill me. Alright. Perfect. The third Caracas. Oh yeah, those draws did not work out well for me. We had a very strong start, but after essentially both of us were hellbent, I had a mom. My opponent found a Jason, killed me before I found like any relevant magic card. Alright. Just fetches nothing. Alright, my opponent has no castable spells in their 7-card hand. We get to live. Plowing, this is still lethal. Oh, just the Brainstorm. That is in fact lethal. I mean, we were dead long before like this lethal attack. Oh, opponent just gotta make sure. Of course. I have 6, computer, come on. Alright, sideboard time. Chalices, Cataclysms, Council's Judgments, Recruiter, maybe Relic Order. What do we cut first? Shave a plow, cut the moms, cut Spirit Keeper, cut a Crusader. That looks pretty good. I never know where I stand on boarding in Leon and Relic Order, because it seems like pretty miserable. Opponent also has the Volk in their deck. Don't even know if they're on Back to Basics. Although I'm not even sure. Some Back to Basics decks probably might play a Volk. But it seems pretty anti-synergistic. I think I like this configuration. I could see swapping out Crusader for Relic Order or something like that. But this looks pretty good. The heck, am I not live? Did my video just die on the side here? Oh no, we're good. This hand's pretty strong. Cataclysm is very good. We have like Chalice on one and Ballista. We have Council's Judgment for a thing. Pretty well set up. Ooh, Athalia too. I'm just gonna jam this Chalice as soon as possible. The faster you can try to gum things up with a Chalice, the better. If it eats a force, so be it. We have like a bunch of other very forcible cards in our hand. So this Chalice is just a 2-for-1, so sure. Pitching Vendilion Click. Fetch a Tundra. Dang. Never lucky. I almost want to play this Stoneforge more than the Thalia here. The Thalia just gets cleaned up by a plow? I mean, so does the Stoneforge, but... Deploying Thalia when my opponent only, like, has cantrip or something that turn and only has, like, the 1 mana up is better, because then they can't plow it yet. It taxes them profitably. I think I'm just gonna play Stoneforge. Also helps us set up for this Cataclysm more. Starts getting down it. If you can have an equipment and a guy in play when you Cataclysm, feeling pretty good. Yeah, if they just fire off Plow here or something. Containment Priest. Okie doke. You got it, bud. Really want to draw 4th land. So we can like Thalia plus put in the sword. Did not shuffle off the Portent. This deck feels excessively aggressive. I guess they'd like plan to play my thing, maybe. There's no way we'd like play an equipped sword here. This is our only creature. Yeah, sure. I don't even think I like want to Council's Judgment this thing. Wait, they're on 2 lands? Oh, I'm fucking playing Thalia. Playing the shit out of Thalia. Notably, they didn't shuffle off the Portent, though, so they probably won't miss their land drop now. It's definitely one of the reasons, one of the situations in which Portent is significantly worse than, like, the Ponder, Preordain, Brainstorm cards. You don't get the card immediately. Nice. Really want to hit land 4, but my deck does hate hitting land drops. And I guess we just go get Batterskull here. Forces my opponent to take this Stoneforge off the table. They could easily just Terminus me here, but again, they have a guy in play, so it's like not exactly a 2-for-1. But if they're killing the Stone Forest and they have to like leave the Thalia in play. These attacks feel like not the best. Land, land, land. Land one time. Hey, we did it. So now we can either put in Batter Skull or Sword, depending on what my opponent does this turn. I don't think I want to like also play a Walking Ballista, because like it's gonna be mana efficient if I just plan on. I guess I could have put in the Sword and equip there, but they have a bunch of mana up, so it's probably dangerous. Playing the Ballista. Did they know their top card? They pondered. They didn't do anything this turn. What did they do with their ponder? Did not shuffle. Draws off ponder. Played Mesa. Following turn drew their second card off ponder, so they have one more card off this ponder. And they didn't fetch. They didn't cast anything. So I think I'm expecting to be Terminus. Oh, never mind. So if they don't Terminus me, we can put in Batter Skull. If they do Terminus me, then we can put in Sword. Oh, this this feels like a Terminus. The old very, very not suspicious end step Rainstorm. Oh, wow, it's a miracle. Important, sure. Opponent desperately trying to hit land drops. This Cataclysm is probably going to be pretty devastating. Do I double threat this turn? I'm a little scared to double threat into this Portent unless they shuffle, which they didn't. Ooh, they also had a land drop that we can wasteland. I think I just want to wasteland this, honestly. Wasteland plus Thalia. It does put me down on lands, and we're already like pretty light on lands here, but I think making my Miracle opponent light on lands is much better for me. We have a Plow for a Mentor, with Judgment for a Jace, Cataclysm would be more lands. Force that with their second click. Interesting. There we go. They have a lot of Vendilion clicks in their deck. Jam Mentor, do it. I dare you. I think we're just going to Ballista for 2 here. I could Ballista for 1 and attempt to equip, but equipping doesn't really do anything except for prevents them from like Jace bouncing it. I think I'd rather play it for 2 in the face of a removal spell. Just going to deal them 2 instead of 1. What's up, Minifer? Opponent does have 3 cards in hand. Disenchant the Ballista. Interesting. Ping your face. Ping your face. It's a pretty solid draw. Let's just put in this Batter Skull in the future if we want. Gets a useless GT out of our deck. Again, I think I'm just going to cast this GTA over, like, equipping the sword this turn. Only get punished by, like, Jace a downtick on the Stoneforge. Yeah, Snap Plow Stoneforge makes a lot more sense. Just more mana efficient to get things out of my hand. We do want to have a threat in play before we Cataclysm, though. Batterskull's not a super good threat because it requires me keeping an artifact and a creature. So I'd have to, like, sack my other equipment. Yeah. We have a Squire. Now we'll equip. Nothing else to do with the mana, besides, like, Plow their Snapcaster, which I really don't want to do. This is Terminus, sure. That's pretty good. It's not a threat. Actually, it's probably a Batterskull more than it's a port right now. Considering Batterskull plus Sword is 8 damage. But it has a lot of creatures in their deck, too. Like, Double Click, Containment Priest, some number of Mentors. This could be Jace downtick. Makes the most sense. Yep, we can just Council's Judgment plus Port. Maybe Council's Judgment plus Aether Vial, actually. I'm kind of scared of another Jace, considering they've been sitting here with these lands for a long time. Picking up the Batterskull next turn, though. I think we just Aether Vial. This Cataclysm's looking really bad with me having 4 artifacts in play. Oh, Mentor, perfect. What is this? Containment Priest? Snapcaster. Sure. Targeting... What card is that? Ponder. Sure. Yeah, I should just pick up this Batterskull so I get F6. They do not shuffle. They also don't hit a land drop, so I'm really concerned about what they kept. I kind of want to port this island again to make sure it's like not a Jace for just another stupid downtick. Draw like a 2-drop, it's great. Draw a land, it's actually okay. Then we can actually just Batterskull plus port them. Might be more worthwhile to Batterskull plus equip. They've gone through how many plows? Just 1. It's a little bit scary. They have 1 mana up. I think I'm gonna port. Council's Judgment. Alright, goodbye Batterskull. Maybe I should have ported the white. At least they're getting Wow, no attack. Put the Fear of God in him. Not a good draw. I should also probably stop playing lands, because this Cataclysm's eventually going to be relevant. I might just be forced to slam it if they Jace me. I would get to, like, Cataclysm keep port into, like, land port, the one land. I'd probably have to keep my Aether Vial and Segment equipment, though, which is kind of scary. Depends on how many lands I draw. Might keep this sword instead. Yeah, I think my opponent just does need to end this game. They're actually running out of time. If we draw like a Recruiter with a card, that would be real nice. Second Cataclysm, perfect. Got like 7 turns. Should probably be porting the second white source at this stage. Alright, well, Cataclysm time. I hope they brainstorm and hit another land drop. We're gonna sack the equipment, I think. Just keep the vial. Rashad and port them a bunch. Land drop, come on, go. And I guess no land drop also means that. That's pretty good. Also makes me really want to keep this sword. Although, I mean, we can't cast it. Oh, I could Violin the Prelate, put it on 1. Equip the sword to it, and then cast Cataclysm, and then play Caracas, and port their remaining land. That's actually not horrible. Keep the sword. So this prevents me from getting Terminused. I think they should probably concede, but I don't think they're even going to be able to win Game 3. Yep. Concede for time, but I don't think they're going to make it unless they have like a really good Mentor hand. I'm tempted to just board in the 4th Source of Plowshares. Partially because of the Mentor, the scare of Mentor, partially because my opponent just did have a lot of creatures in their deck. Double Vendilion Click, Containment Priest, some number of Snapcasters. I don't hate just leaving in all my plows if they're on a Mentor build that also has Containment Priest and clicks. Especially because we're probably just going to win on clock. So, like, not dying to turn 3 Mentor and Prey is not a bad decision. This hand is really loose. We have 2 equipment for our Stoneforge. All 3 other Stoneforges are dead. We have turn 1 Vial and Stoneforge and Prelate, though, so I think this hand's a keep. We'll just draw sort of Fire Nice before we put a Stoneforge into play. Almost assuredly. Just gonna cast GTA Air. There's Violent Stoneforge. If they just like slam Mentor on turn 3, we can also Prelate on 1. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Now we just like have to cast. Probably just cast Prelate on 1, honestly. Turns off their plows. I'm just definitely trying to get their beatdown on to race me here. It's like Slam Jace. Council's Judgment, alright. We're just hard casting Batterskull on turn 5. Chalice is pretty good. What you got, opponent? Attack. Jace bounce Stoneforge, perhaps? Flicker Wisp, what does this do? Nothing, right? I can flicker my own thing and just, like, lose it. Does let me double spell. Also lets me flicker this Batterskull or something. We're at 14. We're, like, pretty safe. Could just Batterskull, make the Jace down tick again. Turn after that, deploy Wisp plus Stoneforge. Also, if they deploy another creature with this Containment Priest, the Wisp can just kill it, which is nice. Could also play, like, Sword. I think I like the Batterskull line. Oops. Wrong button. Yep. Now we get to deploy like 3 creatures. Oh geez, we can actually just Council's Judgment this Containment Priest if we want. Like the Jace isn't that scary, honestly. It's the dying to. I'm 100% voting this Containment Priest off the island. Why didn't you vow Mystic when I had 2 counters? My opponent had Containment Priest in play, which turns off Aether Vials. If I put it into play, it would just get countered. No, not countered, it would just get exiled, sorry. Alright, so this resolves. Don't know why they're doing this now. Targeting me. Response, I will put Wisp into play. I'll Wisp my Batterskull. They're just gonna, they can't take the sword. Why do it now? Yeah, they just have to leave it in my hand. That was a very weird timing on that. And they could, like, Terminus me. No, they don't have Terminus. Alright, cool. Disenchant Chalice. Makes sense. Gotta get there. Like, Plow Wisp, down tick Jace on Germ? Something? Alright, step 1. Step 2. Okay. So step 3, plow my Stoneforge too. I feel like they can't even kill me with this click in 23 seconds. But I also feel like we should be pretty fine here. Well, maybe not. Oh, no, we have Karagas to bounce this click forever now. So that's pretty cool. And we'll waste them, then why not? You can have that back. Oh no, my Palace Jailer! Would be really nice to Palace Jailer this Vendilion click. If only I had ticked File up before. Oh well, they're not even going to finish resolving this before they lose. I also think we do just, like, win here. My opponent has 1 card in hand. I think even if they didn't run out of time, we were, like, pretty favored. So if they click my Palace Jailer, which they have to there. No, Moto, I wanted to see my next card. I hate it when Moto just, like, just dies. Oh well. Even if they, like, click the Jailer, we just have a bunch of stuff. Eventually we just get to Val in a 3-drop. Hook it up with, like, 800 equipment. My opponent's, like, just drawing pretty dead. I think we're definitely favored from that position. But also, comes with the territory of miracles. Play fast. We lost game 1. One games 2 and 3. Alright. Alright, Zan's fine. Keeping a lot of not Vile hands, which are significantly worse than Vile hands, obviously, but... Volcanic Ponder. So... Grixis control. Sneak. Grixis Delver. Blue-Red Delver. Are the main candidates here. They did not shuffle off their Ponder. Easy. What did I say about not keeping Vile hands? We always said we had the Vile. Force. Pitching. Jace. Alright. So, Grixis? Possibly Miracles that just... Like, they're... They kept Volk Ponder opener? I don't know. I'm gonna guess Grixis, though. Yeah. Could double Mom here. Might actually be better to double Mom than to Thalia. Although my opponent can't kill Thalia with 1 mana open, so... 2-mana Fatal Push this. Oh, is it just Angler? I don't know. Oh, I usually, like, when they tap the mana and then there's that pause, I assume they're paying additional costs, which is usually Delve Threats. But I guess they just kind of forgot about the Thali attacks. Now we just Mom into Mom, especially my opponent's on a 2-lander. Hard pressed for them to kill these both, and if we get Mom plus Crusader, it's a decent way to try to steal game 1s, assuming we hit land 3 as well. Oh wow, killing neither Mom. Deal. I want to play the Aether Vial. I think Stoneforge is better though. Just like get a Batterskull going. We have double Moms, so we can attack like pretty offensively. Oh no, they found a cantrip. Brainstorm Lock, no lands. None. Don't find any. Please. Man, they always find the fetch land when they cast a Brainstorm. Never like just at normal lands too. It's always the fetch to shuffle away the bad cards off the Brainstorm. Him me, take the Batterskull and the Crusader. Alright. The Crusader and the Recruiter are also good, but we kept a Batterskull, which is super relevant here. Although they can K-command my Batterskull, so maybe this... Ooh. Can't K-command my Batterskull anymore. Pretty timely Wasteland there. Would have liked to have a Crusader in play instead, but that works. Or it doesn't, that's fine. There's like K-Command, Shatterskull, discard a card, we'll discard this Vial. Yep. Yep. Oh, the tech. She can find another land. I almost feel like I should have been attacking with like one of these Moms these past couple of turns, while they were stumbling pretty hard in terms of mana development. Not sure if that's correct. Alright, well hopefully we don't get this last card discarded from our hand. Would be nice. This is our game 1 Grixis tech right here. At least K-Command doesn't have any other useful modes. There's like, if they K-Command me, it's just a funeral charm. Maybe I shouldn't have even played the Revoker to insulate it. It doesn't insulate me from hymns, though, and I think committing a bunch to the board right now is perfectly fine. Considering it's game 1, my opponent doesn't have any, like, Marsh casualties to blow me out with. Yeah, I think we just want to aggressively try to lethal my opponent rather than trying to, like, protect this Haymaker from a card they might not even have. So I think they're honestly digging for something like Gurmag Angler. So I have to start like proactively using a mom to get in damage. I don't get in nearly as much. Alright, Strix isn't as bad, because if they block with the Strix, we can use mom to just eat it. Come on, third land. Yeah, now we're gonna get himmed. It's like guaranteed now. Snapcaster Mage, sure. Let's just force a mom activation. I might just like let this thing trade. Depending on how they block. That seemed not correct. So they might have clicked through their blocks there and just then conceded after. Man! We like found our land ever? No. No. Jeez. Oh, well, we won game one against Grixis anyway, so I can't complain too much. That is how you honestly like win the Grixis matchup, is like they stumble on mana and you just get ahead there. Because when you get behind against Grixis, you don't catch up. That's not how this matchup goes. Alright, sideboard time. Cut all the plows. What do I usually cut in this matchup? Revoker? And something else. The second Revoker, maybe? Could shave a Wisp. I don't hate cutting both Revokers. They were both like just really bad 2-1s there. They're only good that game because they cost 2 mana, and I was on 2 lands the whole game. It's 10 o'clock. If you're gonna go do the thing.
Yes.
Okay. Alright. This hand is horrible. But I can guarantee that my opponent was mana screwed in their opening hand. Snap that one off, but no, this hand sucks. This hand is way better. Just infinitely better than the last hand. Notably, Howled Spirit Keeper isn't as much of a slam dunk games 2 and 3 as it is game 1, because my opponent will likely have cards like Marsh Casualties, Toxic Deluge, other neg1 your board effects. But it's still really good, because it does make them like have to have it. Like most of your deck is going to die to Marsh Casualties and stuff anyway. It also like eats the first removal spell too. So next turn we get like Thalia plus Mom, or Mom plus Wasteland. Got a lot of options here. We'll just get him, lose like our land and our... Ooh. I don't know what no play means. It means I don't want to cast a creature, I don't think. It just gets eaten by their free mana. We're drawing pretty good. I could just play the extra Mother of Runes, because like my hand's going to curve out pretty well after that. Because if we draw like land 3 here, also just starts feeding the Howled Spirit Keeper. We are going to cast a Mom here, I think. Does let them kill the Mom, untap, and then kill the second Mom, whatever. Yeah. Probably like Basic Swamp. Oh, they can't fetch Basic Swamp. Interesting. I'm really tempted to Wasteland that. It's really bad for me. They don't get to yeah, let's fucking Wasteland this. They don't get to K-command me for a while, because they get to 2 lands here, and then we Thalia them, so... Strix? Sure. It does prevent me from playing Spirit Keeper, so it's like... If I draw a white source, I could have cast Spirit Keeper, and then we could, like, we're still in danger of getting hemmed. Definitely gonna put in Thalia here. Can't afford to get Kolaghan's commanded. And just curve up this Vial, Spirit Keeper, Jailer, go to town. Draw another land, play the Stoneforge maybe. Cool. What am I even grabbing? Sword, I guess. It's pretty mana intensive, but we're sitting okay. Might take this Vial up to 4 depending on how this next turn goes. Just Jailer the Strix. This attack makes me a little nervous. This is just Deluge. I wonder if I'm supposed to, like, make 5 spirits with this Spirit Keeper. Or just put in a Spirit Keeper instead, force them. Because they could, like, land drop Snap Deluge, which would be really bad for me. Whereas the Spirit Keeper just means, oh, kill this. Like, if you kill this, then it just explodes into 5 spirits. Although, having 5 1/1s in play here would not be bad. I think this is fine, though. I think that resolves. And then we just make a Spirit Keeper here. I'm also not certain I want a Jailer. Maybe I do. Just, like, close this game. I think we're going to give it a turn. I kind of want to get a creature with it if they try to redeploy with, like, Snapcasters or something. So now they need to remove Hallowed Spirit Keeper and then, like, snap Deluge to get rid of all the spirits. Anytime I watch you play this, you never have more than 2 lands. Sometimes you don't need more than 2 lands, right? Functioning pretty well. I think we're going to grab Batterskull. GT is, like, castable. Alright, GT. Likelihood that my Stoneforge lives if I grab this Batterskull is pretty low. So now we just need to be wary of Snap Deluge. Jace. Alright, well, can't unsummon Hallowed Spirit Keeper, so... I guess you can do that. What's your follow-up? Gurmag? Oh, sick. This Battle Share is going to be insane. Tick Valve to 4, Jailer Gurmag. Kill Jace. Immediately draw a 3-drop. I guess we'll go grab Batterskull now. Nothing else to grab. We need to draw more cards, maybe we'll hit land number 3. Nope. No Modern. Yeah, we play Modern on, like, Wednesdays, usually, Caleb. And even then, I'm considering not playing Modern tomorrow, just to keep prepping for this big Legacy tournament. I might still play Modern. I'm, like, vaguely interested right now. I want to mess around with Knight of Autumn. Oh, my opponent also delved away their Toxic Deluge. Jeez. So now this Hallowed Spirit Keeper is just wailing on my opponent. We have 4 creatures in the yard. Yeah. Yeah, nice lightning bolt. You're still fucking dying to these guys. When standard? Standard's never. Standard's never unless it's actually super interesting. Yeah, they're just dead. Sick! We fucking got him! It was awesome. 2-0'd Grixis. Hallowed Spirit Keeper into Palace Jailer. Alright. Good shit. When's EDH? EDH is actual never. This has convinced me to buy Spirit Keepers. I mean, they're like 50 cents or some garbage, right? Wind Waver's Miracles. We are post-ban. I guess I'll also give you my pre-ban data since the matchup probably didn't change too much. But post-ban, I played against it 7 times. I'm 6-1. And pre-Deathrite ban, played against it 12 times, and I was 8-4. So that's what, 14-5 total? Something like that. I mean, I imagine like the deck composition of some of the Miracles decks probably did change between pre and post ban, which might make a difference, but I feel like I've played against this guy. Control 4 days. Name just looks familiar. Ugh. This Batterskull is like any other spell in my deck. This might be keepable. Alright, all this hand's keepable, and also just going to die to a Wasteland. But if my opponent's playing Control, then we're not going to get Wastelanded. But if they're playing Daze, then we might get Wastelanded. But yeah, on the 6, we're definitely going to keep this. Gonna bottom the shit out of that, though. He's an Ant Pilot? Ooh. Well, maybe I should have topped this second Thalia in case I get Thoughtseized here. Oh, no Thoughtseized. Also, that's definitely like the the bluff check of the name there. Control for Days, actually just on Ant. This could technically be... Oh, are we getting... Oh, they just playing it out to play around Thalia. Well, I don't really know if they can really beat Mom plus Thalia game 1. Especially because we're just going to like Wasteland this Volk next turn. Ooh, could be Sneak. Definitely Sneak now with this mountain. But luckily we have Caracas, and still this Wasteland, so... I was thinking that with, like, Volk, Ponder plus Petal. I was like, this is more likely to be Sneak, but... We have Jailer, too. So we're, like, not dead to most things, besides Omniscience. We need to, like, get to Recruiter to beat Omniscience. We need to, like, recruit for Prelate, but I think we're just definitely Wastelanding. Maybe it's Ruby Storm. Could be Ruby Storm, I guess, but this is, like, probably a pretty miserable hand if they're Ruby Storm. They, like, just didn't do anything. I guess we have a Thalia, so... My best guess is probably Sneak. Like, if I saw this, especially, like, if I just saw this at a tournament, I'd be like, okay, yes, this is a Sneak and show. but considering apparently they're a Storm player, like with outside information, maybe they're on. Maybe they're on like Ruby Storm. Why not? Ugh. If they're on Ruby Storm, not much we can do. I think Prelodon 2 beats Ruby Storm. Prelodon 3 will probably lock up the game and sneak. Wasteland that too. Wait till my turn. I might want to actually like cast a spell. Since our clock's pretty slow. Yeah, well, I think we're just on the Wasteland plan. I don't think any of my spells are really getting cast. We can start attacking for 3 a turn, leaving up a mom. I should have Wastelanded this before. Because now they can, like, do something. Counter my Mother over and some silly stuff. Yeah. Alright. I'm not casting any more spells for the foreseeable future. Also a chance I was just supposed to be attacking with all the moms. Ooh, it is? Oh, no. Keeping it through. Oh, it is Ruby Storm. Alright, confirmed, finally. Actual Ruby Storm. Now we might just not win. Top deck Vow. I would also need like a second land first. We need a top deck third land now to recruit. Here for Standard. Go find another stream, Caleb. I haven't played Standard in years, you know that. Except for that one time we played Team Unified Standard because it was the RPG format. And the actual worst format in existence. Also, why would I, like, if I'm playing Standard, I just, like, play Arena. Buying new Standard on Moto, like, week 1 seems like, oh, good waste of money. All the prices are just going to drop as everyone drafts the set a bunch and it gets opened. I hope I'm not dead. Opponent has a lot of mana. It's harder for them to kill me, I think, unless they get another Ruby into play with my Thalia turning off the first one, but, like, I don't fucking know how this deck works. Burning Wish. They're, like, splicing Burning Wish? Or, I mean, Burning Wish. Desert Ritual. The worst part is I can't even, like, F6. Because I'm going to leave up this Mother of Runes for my Thalia. Alright, well, we might be dead. I assume our last card is Burning Wish? I can, like, Burning Wish into, like, we both redraw 7s or something? Oh, they just have Reforce the Soul, alright. Wow, this hand sucks. Good thing I get a new one. Oh, that's clever. You can, like, cast your instant speed rituals before you draw the new hand, too. I feel like we're pretty dead. Hey, we found our Prelate. We get to live this turn somehow. By the grace of God, my opponent drew 7 mountains. Man, I'm really tempted to just F6. Until my opponent casts a... Ooh, 2 Brainstorms. Until my opponent casts, like, a Burning Wish, and then try to unyield. Yeah, fuck it, we're gonna F6-ing. Can I just F6 until my opponent casts a Burning Wish, please? Sick deck. think this is just Second Proton 2's game in this matchup. Pretty sure all their deck is Burning Wishes. Like, maybe they have a main deck empty, but the list, yeah, they just concede. The list I've seen on Twitter just don't play main deck win cons. They just have Burning Wishes for like Grape Shot or Tendrils or whatever. Nice deck opponent. Pals Jalen's Ballista probably suck. Surgical seems okay. If you can like snipe a Burning Wish off of like a draw 7 or whatever when they discard, Fairy Macabre's pretty bad. It can try to oh, they have Passive Flames in their deck. Maybe Fairy Macabre's better than random garbage. Bring in things to kill rubies. Bring in Recruiter for Prelate. Cutting Jite. Cutting Plows. Revoker hits Petal, so it's fine. Cut Spirit Keeper. Pretty easy. I wonder if I can go find this deck on Twitter. Who was they tweeting about it? It was some Storm player I follow. What's this thing? It was not. Fuck it. I don't remember. I wanted to see a deck list, but this is probably fine. Just want to know like what number I should be putting Chalice on, because I'm not even sure Chalice is super good here. Besides trying to like put it on 0, because I don't think they have that many ones in their deck. Just like what it's like Brainstorm, Ponder, and Rite of Flame. I think we just have to keep these hands with Thalia. We might just die, but I think Mom into Thalia is just too good. What's the weird sideboard card? Which one? The Crusading Knight? This is one of those anti-storm hands where you're not going to play turn 1 Vial. You just play turn 1 Mom to protect your Thalia from dying to your opponent's like anti-Thalia card. I think they have a Braid mainly in this matchup. Although it would be nice to just turn 1 Vial, turn 2 like Thalia plus Mom, turn 3 Vial and Stoneforge. Yeah, the Knight. Crusading Knight, it's a 4-drop 2/2 pro black. Gets +1/+1 for each swamp your opponents control. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, we could just die here if the like Ruby Medallion go off. It's a lot of mana. They might be emptying some Warrens here. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Can we beat Goblins? Like, I think we might be able to beat 12's a lot. It might be like a turn too slow to beat 12 Goblins. Maybe not, actually. Go get Batterskull here. Block 2, take 10. Block another 2, take 8, gain 4. Yeah, we might be able to actually to beat 12 Goblins. Give this thing pro red. Prelate, too. So we just play Prelate on 2 next turn. They could, like, shatter my Batter Skull. They have, like, an Abrade in their hand or something. But them's the breaks. I think that's kind of what they're cantripping for. The ability, a way to shatter this Batter Skull so they can deal the last points of damage, get across that finish line. Sure. I'm probably figuring out that attacking isn't the best. You could put Prelate on 2 here too, and just knock him out. I'm just gonna attack. If they want to quadruple block my Batter Skull, go right ahead. We just Flicker Wisp it the following turn. Maybe even this turn. It's not like they can do anything with 2 cards in their hand. They can actually, like, wheel. Probably want the Prelate down. They're taking it. Alright, well, that's not going to go well for them. Thalia seems pretty terrible here with my opponent having 3 Ruby Medallions in play. I wonder if they're dead. I guess Kozilek's return would kind of make sense to be. They can't Burning Wish for K return, but it might just be worth it for the D&T matchup, just to sideboard in. Because I know they're playing Abrades as their, like, like, Hate Mirror sort of card. But Abrade's really bad against Sanctum Prelate, because Prelate just always goes on 2 in this matchup. Yeah. Probably want to start blocking that. Yep. I'm just gonna Flicker with the Stoneforge. I want to Flicker Wisp in play and just equip, like, the Batter Skull to it. So I can clock my opponent. Might as well cast a Thalia too. File on another one if this one gets answered somehow. Guess I just have lethal with this getting the sword here, right? I just equip the sword to the Batter Skull next turn. Tag him for 8, 9, 10, 11. That works too. Opponent is probably trying to find could have that, like, Shatter thing. The Confluence, Fiery Confluence. Need another red mana for that though. Just gonna leave this file on 2. Got him. GG's, opponent. matchup doesn't seem horrible. I'm not sure. I played against the mono red version. I think I'm 2-0 against it, maybe 3-0. Let me find it. Yeah, I'm 2-0. I'm 2-0-4-0. I've never actually dropped a game. And now I'm 3-0-6-0. But I don't think the blue variation differs that much. I think they just like played Ponder and Brainstorm. Is 40 duels, first prize, and prize pool. It's the prize pool. There are like 32 duels split between the top 8 in like chunks of 4, and then the 9th through 16th get like one of Scrubland or Plateau or something, whatever the 2 worst duels are. Taiga, maybe? No, I think Taiga's like 8th place. But it's like first place gets a place of Underground, second place gets Volks, third place gets Trops or Tundras. Can you get Crusading Knight in foil? You actually can. The only card in my deck currently that can't be foiled is this stupid Hallowed Spirit Keeper. But Crusading Knight was from some set that was foilable. I don't know which one it was for the life of me. This hand sucks. This hand, we're on the play. I like this hand a little bit more on the play. This hand also still kind of sucks, but on 6, we're going to keep. Just scry lands to the top. You're saying Howled Spirit Keeper isn't feasible for Vapor? Got it. Exactly. Why play cards that can't be foiled? It is kind of annoying, though, because the deck, if I'm playing a Howled Spirit Keeper, the deck is actually 74 for 75 foils. Alright, Eldrazi Stompy. I'll leave a Plow. This mom sucks, but... Is it Reshaper here? Oh, Endless One, sure. If they have like Thought Knot to follow up, I could see that Simian Spirit Guide making sense. Like they're just gonna play Soul and Thought Knot. I'll just plow the Thought Knot, go from there, take like 7, which is definitely rough. Yep. I think if my opponent wants to take this Mother of Runes, I'm gonna let him. Much rather than take this Mom than Crusader or Sword. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take Crusader there. And they know about the Mom. Just gonna valid in for F6 value. Not gonna block. Because we might actually need to put this sword on something. Second Prelate also sucks in this matchup. But at least it holds a sword better than a Mom does. Notably, Mom can also, like, block this Mimic if they don't have another thing. They're just gonna, like, smash it here and crush my soul, though. So. Yeah. Not gonna beat, like, this curve out from Eldrazi. Especially with my pretty weak 6, especially in this matchup. Having Mom, Prelate, Double Vial. So how do we win from here? Definitely involves blocking here. It involves like drawing a Flicker Wisp. Oh crap. Blocks. Block here. Flicker Wisping this, and then double blocking the Reality Smasher. No, we can't draw a Flicker Wisp and a 3rd land, so that doesn't work. I think we just die, but... Also, I think that would still be lethal. Don't really think we have any outs. We found the Flicker Wisp. Could flicker the Smasher, block the Endless one. Go to 3. I'm not dead. Fortunately, my opponent can also just like Wasteland Caracas, which puts me excessively far behind. Just like gonna Ballista me. Chalice, sure. It's actually pretty annoying because we can't draw Plow now. So if we try another Flicker Wisp, we're not dead. Alright, well, we tried. Maybe I was actually supposed to take a Vial before there. I think my only out might have been top decking Palace Jailer. Although drawing any the other 3 Wisps, my deck stalls me a turn. Just like flicker the Smasher again, block. Actually, I'd probably flicker the Chalice and just take 2, go to 1, and then hopefully I can draw like a Plow after that. So I guess leaving on 3 is probably fine. Alright, Eldrazi Stompy, huh? I don't have a lot of cards to sideboard for this matchup anymore. I wonder if Howled Spirit Keeper's not terrible. Probably not. Walking Ballista, I hate it less here than against Post. You can ping off Mimics. It's like possibly better than Thalia. Although Thalia with like Crusader, the first strike can definitely hold down the fort pretty well. Put in Crusading Knight, get those Urborgs. Recruiter just feels too slow here. I guess actually these moms suck, don't they? Bring back Anthalias. Oh yeah, this Relic Ward is great. That seems okay. I don't like Thalia here. It's not great, but I could see actually boarding in Recruiter for a Thalia. Sometimes this matchup goes late, or sometimes you can like recruit for a Jailer or a Wisp when you really need one. Seems fine. Ugh, man, this hand sucks. A couple more castable spells, this hand would be okay. No, we're gonna lose pretty bad. Let's take it to bottom that, unless I get moto bugged. This hand goes Thalia, Recruiter, Jailer if we don't get Thought Knotted. I wonder if porting's like more relevant than casting a Thalia here. Very well might be. I like port into Vile Port. So try to dodge Thought Knots here. I guess we're back to last turn. Now we probably just play Thalia. Because like I said, this hand's looking like it's just going to curve out. This Vial is kind of useless unless I can just find some extra mana on a turn. Like if I get Thought Knotted here. Smasher. I'll Ballista for 2. Alright. Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess they could cast Smasher. Simple. Oh, Ballista there, Ballista. Probably actually the play. I'm like dying pretty hard to this Ballista. Just Ballista play Aether Vial. I kind of want to wait until next turn, though. If they don't pump the Ballista, then we can actually Ballista their Mimic, too. Yeah, I think we're actually just gonna, like, recruit a Palace Jailer here. Maybe a Flicker Wisp? No, they can, like, ping off my Recruiter. Could get Relic Warder. Could Spirit Keeper. Could get Wisp. I think we're just gonna go with Jailer. Jailer's a really good card if Eldrazi Stompy starts running out of steam. I think they would have gladly thought-knotted me that turn, so I don't expect them to have one. Oh man, that was a 6-drop. It was just like the Bringer of Ends. Oh, just endless one. Sick. It's a good Palace Jailer target. Does make their Eldrazi Mimic 6/6s, which is horrifying. Don't think we're gonna block though. Ooh, Source Splashers is good. Maybe I should have blocked just so this Ballista doesn't have other things to ping. Didn't know I was going to draw the Plow, though. Really want to draw line number 5 next turn. I'm not sure if I want to let them make a land drop. They, like, pump this Ballista. I think I do. Might actually just kill these Mimics instead. Plow the Ballista, Jailer the endless one. Matter Reshaper. Just gonna snap off the block here. Maybe I don't. No, because I'm going to kill this Ballista this turn, so they just get the free ping off here. Because now I'm going to just plow Ballista, like plan to Jailer this, hopefully. Yeah. And then hopefully they don't find like a Smasher. They can attack with a Reshaper into my Jailer, but we'll be drawing 2 cards a turn, so hopefully we find something to defend ourselves. The greedy play is like plow Reshaper, play Jailer, but then we're leaving this Ballista in play, which is horrifying. At least they don't get a guy back if they ever get Monarch from me, because we're just going to exile this Endbringer. Or Endless one. Just had removal. It's annoying, because that means they get, like, guaranteed 2 Monarch procs. And also we just drew a 6th land. It is definitely not favored right now. Definitely not unwinnable. But them getting this Monarch triggers is very bad for me. Especially they, oh yeah, now we can answer this Reshaper, but now we're just like super boned because my opponent's aggro deck is drawing 2 cards a turn. And they have Factory. We can draw a creature this exact turn. Oh, they have a guy too. Yeah, we're just dead. Don't want to play a 9? I guess they don't need to. It's just our life total. Flicker Wisp? Yeah, well, we tried. GG's opponent. Not gonna beat all that jazz. Felt like okay there. We just needed to dodge stuff. I could have like not tutored for the jailer and found a wisp instead, but I think we would have been in a similar position. My opponent's not drawing 2 cards a turn, obviously. There was a higher, or a lower downside of finding wisp, much higher upside of getting jailer. My opponent does not have an answer that turn, then we can take over the game. Whereas Flicker Wisp just kind of like holds my head above water. I think we're going to keep this. On the draw, it's a little scary against like Daze decks, but we're safe against Thoughtseize. We're reasonably safe against Force. On the draw means we can find a second land drop easier. And keep this hand. And I hope this isn't Black-Red Reanimator. Oh, this is Storm. Ooh. Ooh. The sneaky second Vial. It's game 1, though, so we can just play the Vial. Oh, man, they're just going to kill me on turn 2. That's not nice. Oh, this is just... Oh, this could fizzle. Not super likely, but they are ad nauseing with no land drop. If they're Tess, it's much less likely to fizzle. If they're oh, they're Tess. Alright, we're probably fucked. They just need a payoff. They're at 14. Oh no, they have an Infernal Tutor. I think we're dead, right? Yeah, we're super dead. They have Infernal Tutor LED. Cool beans. Tess, not a great matchup because they can do this, whereas Ants turn 2s are just like much less likely to happen. Opponent likes showing off, I guess. Just like get to maximum storm count possible. "21 spells cast. It's pretty good. 42 damage, Tendrils of Agony. Strong. Alright, game 2 time. Yeah. This is also one of the reasons that, like, Chalice has started to evolve as the tech over... over Ethersworn Canonist. Because you can play Disruption on turn 1. Because you can play Chalice on 0 in this matchup. Whereas Ethersworn Canonist is, like, pretty pitiful because it's just, like, another Thalia, and sometimes you die with Thalias in your hand. Rest in Peace is not good. Surgical's also not good, but it's okay. You can trip them up sometimes on Surgicals, not super often, but it's worth, like, cutting all these, like, these piddlers. Chalice on 0 and 2. Yeah, like, if you have time to get to a Chalice on 2 with 4 lands in play, then yeah. but it's mostly because you can put Chalice on 0 on turn 1 to stop that from having super explosive starts. It's usually like Chalice on 0 into the Thalia that stops them. Chalice on 0 is just like a roadblock. It's not, oh, I play Chalice on 0, now I can't lose. It's, oh, Chalice on 0 buys me the time I need to get to this other stuff in my deck. So we could board in 2 cards. Don't really like any of these. Rest in Peace is not good in this matchup. They're like a much more efficient ad nauseum deck than Ant is. Ballista's not good, but it might just be like the least shitty card in my deck. Fairy Macabre could also like fuck with their like occasional Past in Flames hands, but I just don't think like Rip's worth it in this matchup. I guess we'll go for that. It's not often that it's like Surgical's not going to really win you the game in this matchup, and Fairy Macabre's going to win you the game even less of the time. I think I just have to keep this and hope I don't get Thoughtseized on turn 1. Like, we don't get Thoughtseized, we have a high probability of like surviving, especially because we also have Wasteland Port. If we do get Thoughtseize, obviously we're pretty dead, but it's hard to mulligan into a hand that's good against Thoughtseize. Really tanking on the scry. Always makes me nervous when Storm players tank on their opening hands and stuff. It's like, can I kill him on turn 1? Because Tess could just kill me right here. That was just like Thoughtseize me, which is obnoxious. Yep, Thoughtseize. That was the breaks. Oh, are they going to Thoughtseize and kill me? Cool. Alright. 3 cards in hand, that's impressive. Just like naturally have the ad nauseum. I guess they might be going for Tiny Empty. Oh, nope. They have 7 mana. Yeah, they're just going to ad nauseum me again. Oh, this is a turn 1. Oh, they're not. They're just going to empty me. That's fair. Because they know my whole hand. And 14 goblins is like just enough to beat Stoneforge, I think. I think 12 you can survive if I get Drive Stoneforge this turn. That was actually like turn 1, that wasn't even turn 2. Nice, Mother of Runes. Yeah, cool. Alright. Nothing in our deck is gonna beat 14 gobos. Don't have any neg1 effects. And that's why you want Chalice in this format. That's why you want Chalice and Death and Taxes over Aethersworn. A lot of these Storm decks are leaning to doing that instead of Ant, because a lot of the good decks right now are very like slow, value-oriented stuff, and Ant is a lot worse against Hymn to Turok than Tess is, because Hymn to Turok's a really slow spell, and Hymn to Turok doesn't, like, Tess doesn't give a fuck about him if they're turn 1-ing you. There's Tess. Yeah. Wait, what? My. Oh, whoops. There we go. 3 and 3, that makes more sense. Alright, this looks all good. Yeah, I have a 50-50 win rate against Tess, but my Ant win rate is 5 out of 6. Just the extra turn just buys you so much time. Although, obviously, we're going to win that game even if my opponent didn't turn 1 me, because we kept a hand that was like, oh, I hope I don't get Thoughtseized. But then my opponent Thoughtseized me, and then also killed me on turn 1. There aren't a lot of decks that are going to be able to beat that in Legacy. Sometimes you get nut drawn by those decks. But anyway, still performed well. I don't know why losing turn 1 hurts my heart. I mean, you don't play Death and Taxes to, like, be sad about getting turn 1. Like, that's life. I'm not playing Force of Wills. Although we'd have had, like, a really good blue deck hand to beat that as well. Like, Thoughtseize your Force, you need a second counterspell. Like, Delver could probably beat that, because they have, like, Force plus Daze or something. It's like Daze the Thoughtseize. I mean, that was like, I don't get turn 1 very often. It's against Tess, which I've played against 4 times out of my 167 matches of Legacy. Like, a couple of other of these decks are like turn 1 decks, maybe. But Vintage is also not quite a turn 1 format, not anymore, or so I've heard, because like the best decks are Shops and Outcome, which are not turn 1 decks, but they're like, I guess Shops isn't like necessarily a fast deck, but it's not like turn 1. It's not like Storm is the king of like of Vintage right now. But that's all like word of mouth. I don't play any Vintage, so I'm not an expert like a Vintage master apparently. But yeah, turn 1s don't really happen a lot in Shops and Outcome. Turn 1s don't happen a lot in Legacy. It's the boogeyman. Like, games like that is why some Magic players like look at Legacy and was like, oh, I don't want to play Legacy because I'm scared of that stuff happening. But that's definitely not the usual case. Like, the top decks I've played against are like D&T, Grixis Control, Maverick, Death Shadow. And then of course there's like Red Black Reanimator, which is kind of the best version of the turn 1 deck right now. It's like the ones that have been putting up the best results, but that's Legacy. It's a high-powered format. You get to do powerful things if you want to do them, but there are also a lot of tools to fight those powerful things. Cough Miracles. Oh, did I not even say Miracles? Miracles is like way further down on my list. I was just reading off like the deck that I had played against the most, and Miracles is just significantly further down than those. Although it got up, because I played against it twice in these past 2 leagues. So now it's at 7. So now it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like tied for 3rd most played deck now. It used to be sitting at 5 down with Red Prison and Lands and Grixis Delver and Burn. Vintage has a more free counter. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like Mental Misstep. Miracles is still one of the... Yeah, I'd say Miracles and Grixis Control are like the twin kings right now. I'm gonna do some sorting of my spreadsheet so I can look at my data again. I'd like to just sort it by the number of times I've played against the deck. Sort. So yeah, D&T and Grixis at 9, Red Black Reanimator at 8, Maverick, Death Shadow, Miracles at 7, Dredge, Ant at 6, Red Prison, Lands, Grixis Delver, Burn, 4-color Loam, Elves, Eldrazi Stompy, all at 5. What's your 4-drop in the board, the bottom left column? Oh, it's Crusading Knight. 4-drop, 2/2 Pro Black, gets +1/+1 for each swamp your opponent's control. So playing against Grixis Control right now, and also comes in against Shadow. Elves is free according to your data, right? I mean, it used to be. I think I was 2-0 at some point against Elves. Now I'm 3-2, so it's obviously a favored matchup. We beat Elves yesterday, which was glorious. It was our final boss. We were 3-1, and we're like, oh, against Elves, I guess we're 3-2 in, and then we won. It was amazing. There was much rejoicing. Anyway, let's go find someone to host. Hosting. Who's playing? Who's playing some Legacy? There's Romario. Mono Green Storm? I'm scared to see what this is. Oh, it's just Elves. Okay. I don't know what I expected. Elves is 50-50 kind of idea of the reality is for. Yeah, obviously. Being facetious. It's just like very small amounts of data. Like my friend is 1-0 in the Elves matchup since he started recording, and he's like, oh, Elves matchup is great. But I mean, there are a lot of matchups, like if you want to get technical about like, oh, what's the worst matchup for D&T? But in terms of decks that I would expect to see like after round 3 of a Legacy tournament, I think Elves is the worst. Like you're not gonna play like, oh, there's Oops All Spells and there's Belcher and there's Spanish Inquisition and all these like stupid turn 1 decks, but a lot of them are not good. Never lost to Belcher. I think I'm 1-0 against Belcher on my spreadsheet here. Let me see if I can find it. I think I played against Belcher once. It might have been before the Death Right ban though. Oh no, it's right there. 1-0 against Belcher, 2-1. Easy matchup. But yeah, but Belcher's just like the Storm Vial cranked up to max in terms of like Ant is the more tame Storm deck, and there's Tess, and there's like just Belcher, Spanish Inquisition, whatever the other one I said, Oops All Spells, all that jank. Turn on Garbage Files didn't exist in my meta. Yeah, I mean, Turn on Garbage Files I don't expect to see a lot. But yeah. In terms of like decks I expect to actually see in the later rounds of Legacy tournaments, Elves is going to be Elves is the nightmare matchup. Ancient Doom was Ancient Doom was like a 1-of. I've seen it before. You like Cataclysm over Gideon right now? I like Cataclysm more right now. It's just like more powerful. There are a lot of like specifically a lot of my sideboarding decisions have been trying to devote more cards to the Grixis matchup instead of just Miracles because I'm a lot more comfortable in the Miracles matchup, whereas Grixis is just way scarier. And Cataclysm gets you out of games that you definitely should have no business winning. Whereas Gideon, a lot of times I've just cast Gideon and it's just been like ground out by a bunch of 2-for-1s. Like, okay, I'll make a night. Maybe I'll make 2 nights. Maybe I'll make 3 nights. And Grixis can still pretty easily beat that. Gideon solidifies your games when you're like ahead. It helps you kind of stay ahead. But if you're behind or even like at parity, Gideon can... Well, I mean, at parity, Gideon's fine. But if you can't defend it, if your opponent can just like kill your guy, flash in Snapcaster or whatever, bolt it, attack it with a Snapcaster and a Strix, it's like kind of miserable. Yeah, I've been considering adding a Flagstones just because I play 2 Cataclysm, but just kind of been lazy and don't own a foil Flagstones. Haven't ordered one. They're like $60 or something stupid. It's like a very minor thing, but definitely like pretty free. We have 12 planes or something. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think there might have been 13. No, there are 12 because there are 11 on basics. Oh yeah, when Big Thalia was thing. I loved playing Big Thalia for like the 3 months that Big Thalia was playable. It was Shadow or Eldritch Moon came out and Big Thalia was in it. It was like all the players was like, oh, this card's so sweet. And then Conspiracy 2 came out like a couple months later and just printed Recruiter and Prelate, and it's like, oh well, now we have no more sideboard slots. One last night's Legacy tournament with D&T. Usually play next though. Nice. D&T is a sweet deck. Anyway, I need to actually... The slight upside of the Flagstones with Kata is juxtaposed by the real downside of it being so bad versus back to basics. Yeah, I mean, people like harp about how bad back to basics. Like, the one basic isn't gonna like make or break a lot of percentage points either way, obviously, but there's a lot of good synergy with casting Cataclysm with the Flagstones in play, and then like you still have 11 non-basics against back to basics. Sometimes, yes, you will have the one Flagstones that should be a basic play, and you're putting it back to basics here, and you needed that 1 extra mana. There'll also be times where you cast Cataclysm. A lot of times where you cast Cataclysm with like 4 planes in play, and one of them could have been a Flagstones. So it's like pretty minor. Obviously, it's impossible to get like the statistics on like, oh, Cataclysm plus Flagstones comes up in 1.8% of games, and then getting your Flagstones back to basics comes up in 2.7. There is also like the minor downside of like Wasteland plus Stifle your Flagstones if they like really need to take you off of mana against like Delver decks sometimes, but like no one plays Stifle, and also that Fringe case doesn't come up ever. There's like Blood Moon's at a red prison, you have 1 less non-basic. There's definitely like, there's obviously some downsides. Best card in Miracles versus D&T is back. I don't know if it's the best card. Like, Terminus is a really good card. But it's certainly annoying. There's some hands where my opponent casts Back to Basics doesn't do anything, just because you draw, like, the basic half of your deck. And Back to Basics is just a lot weaker in the late game, because your ports matter less in the late game, and you'll just have more land. You'll naturally have more lands. But if you're like trying to port your opponent out, and your opponent just has turn 3 Back to Basics, it's really annoying. But yeah, Back to Basics is really strong right now because there's so many. Yeah, Terminus. Yeah, Back to Basics is easily like one of the best cards in the deck right now. A lot of people are playing it. It's spiked up to like a jillion dollars. Although it's gone back down, I think. People like bought it out, but then it's not on the reserve list, so people got scared. Definitely reprintable at some point. Port is really good. Vial might be the best card versus Miracles, though. The hands without Vial and the hands with Vial are like night and day. But Port is also good. Like having like turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Port against Miracles is just so good. It's like Vial and Thalia's. Vial and Recruiter chains. Anyhow, spend too much time rambling when I need to sleep. It becomes difficult to entreat a Terminus with Port and play. I mean, like, no one plays entreat anymore, right? Except for, like, that one guy that won the Legacy Challenge a couple days ago with just, like, mono greed miracles. And Terminus only used the 1 white, so. Gideon, best card for Well, I mean, there are a lot of good cards for Miracles. Cataclysm, Gideon, like, things that cost 4 mana and, like, generate value or Armageddon your opponent are generally pretty good. Yeah, some people play Moat, some people. But obviously, a lot of Legacy lists, especially stuff like Miracles, are like pretty customizable. Just because you can do so many things. You can play blue, white, red. You can play blue, white, back to basics. You can play a bunch of like weird cards on the sideboards. You can even have different strategies. Like 2 Miracles players with the same 75 can just have 2 vastly different ways of approaching the matchup. Like a lot of people are way more aggressive with stuff, creatures and stuff. Some people hate boarding in Containment Priest, which I kind of agree with. But some people bring it in, like the one we played against today. Some people hate a lot of the cards in the matchup. I've played against a lot of different like miracle strategies, and I don't even know definitively if there even is definitively like a best card, like or not best card, a best like decision tree versus miracles. I guess a lot of it's like hand dependent and sideboard dependent. Yeah. Also, a lot of people don't own paper moats. That's a fair point. Cat mix. Moat's like $500 or something stupid. I mean, yeah. See, suddenly that's like a whole new level of customization where you like, oh, I'll have Moat to beat my opponent's mentors, and then I'll like beat them with Entreat and like Vendilion clicks or whatever. It's just like totally. Some people like Shiloh plays like Blood Moon still and Miracles because like it's better against lands and such than blah blah blah. There's so many different ways to treat the deck. That's hard to say like the definitively like, oh, this is the best strategy that Miracles can be employing in this matchup or whatever. Yeah, Blood Moon's really good if you're trying to hose people that are like abusing their lands, and it's less good against the decks that like have some people like going to time. That's a way to put it. I'm not even gonna look up what the fucking bans does. I don't know what that card does. Alright, whatever. I'm ending the stream. I host Romario Vidal. Cool guy, plays Legacy a lot. He's usually on after me, so I host him a lot. He's playing Elves though, like a dirty Elves. Dirty traitor, but we'll still host him, he's a cool guy. Anyhow. Thanks everybody for coming and hanging tonight. I hope you had some fun. The old 3-0 to 3-2 feels so bad, but them's the breaks. We got some rough beats, some especially rough beats at that last match. But if you enjoy the content, you want to see more of it, you can follow, subscribe, or donate. Follows are totally free, help you know when I'm going live, and help other people find the channel. Subscriptions get you a sweet Thalia emote and a Thraben-themed sub badge in the chat. And donations, I'd be more than happy to play a Death and Taxes list through a league. Modern, Legacy, Color Splash, whatever you want to see. Be more than happy to give it a whirl. Just let me know beforehand. Other than that, you can subscribe on YouTube or follow me on Twitter. YouTube is where I post all of my streams after they're done going live, so there's just a ton of archived footage of me playing a bunch of Death and Taxes, if you want to see some more stuff. And Twitter, I just post when I'm going live, if you want other notifications about that. And that is going to end the stream tonight. Hope you guys have a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Catch you guys later.